Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time of the day it is in your particular part of the world. I'm Melanie, aka the Batshit Psych Chick, and I am back today with a really particularly special reading. It's special for two words because A, I'm reading on the topic I want to read on. Spirit who's walking with you in the spirit world, be that an ancestor, be it a spirit guide, be it an angel, be it the fairy realm, who's walking with you at this moment and why are they walking with you? I firmly believe that spirit guides come in and out of our lives. Ancestors, particular people watch over us all of our lives and may stay with us all of our lives. I believe that some guides pop in and pop out. So that's what the reading's focused on. The second reason I'm excited and a little bit nervous, I can hear myself being a bit racy, is because today I'm doing my first collaboration with my sister, my friend, my fellow witchy practitioner, the Agate Witch. So we're both filming a reading on the same topic, who is walking with you now and why. If you have come to me from the Agate Witches channel, welcome. If you're here for the first time, independently, welcome also. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, welcome. I've just got such great energy and vibes today, so let's get going. Before I start, I'm going to do the usual pitch, and it always makes me uncomfortable, but please, please, please consider sharing this reading with a friend if you think that they may benefit or get some kind of comfort from it. If you're not already, please subscribe and like the video. I love reading your comments, so please drop me a comment and let me know if it resonates. Tell me a little story, anything, or just drop me a heart. Okay, I do have a Facebook page of the same name, the Batshit Psych Chick. I do daily card pulls and share all kinds of stuff on there. So please come over. It's a very warm, friendly, inclusive community. And please go over to Maria's reading after you've watched mine. You don't have to choose the same pile from Maria's reading. I don't know what kind of cards she's drawing. That's the extra element of surprise. We've both agreed on a topic, we've agreed on a title, and that's it. And I will be as interested, more interested probably than anybody else, to choose my pile from Maria's reading and see what comes out. Just before we start, a little advisory. It's close to bonfire night here as well as Halloween. In the UK, the 5th of November is bonfire night. It's half-term school holidays and we've just heard a few fireworks going off. So if you hear my dog woofing or other dogs woofing outside, that's why. I'm not going to stop it unless it gets bad. No. Famous last words, okay? Okay, it's all right. You go lie down. Go lie down. No barking. Let me introduce you to your piles. Pile number one, if you connect with this image, and I've deliberately covered the title up, so go more on the colours and the picture. This is your pile. It's a lapis lazuli stone, by the way. Pile number two, if you connect with this image, and it's a black obsidian stone, this will be your reading. And pile number three, if you connect with this image and this stone, which is a fairy stone, then this will be your reading. So without any further ado, let's get on. It's a mixture of tarot, oracle, all sorts. There's not the same number of cards in each pile. The oracle cards, yes, one from each. The tarot, a number of different cards came out. Pile number one. if you connected with this image, then this will be your reading. Let's first of all uncover your fairy and move your stone up there. You have a blessing of a fairy guardian, and you have this beautiful blue and green fairy pushing a door open. This particular fairy card says that you have always had a particular fairy guardian watching over you. She's been assigned to you from birth, and she will be with you until you draw your very last breath on this particular plane. She's inviting you to enter that fairy realm, to enter that door. You may have always felt her. She is always walking with you, not just now, she's always walking with you. And that's funny, and perhaps this is my pile, because I wanted to name this reading Who's Walking With You after the Cat Stevens song Always Walking With You, because it's a song I listen to when I myself want some spiritual comfort and to kind of hear a spiritual voice. We're always with you, we're always thinking about you, we're always talking to you, we're always trying to communicate with you, even if you don't know it. This fairy is inviting you to step through a portal at this time. At the time you're watching it, I'm filming it for Halloween, when the veil is thin, for Samhain, but actually you could watch this at any time, because you are being invited to step through into the world of magic. So who's walking with you? Immediately the Fae are walking with you, and in particular a particular fairy spirit. You may have enjoyed playing with fairies, reading fairy stories, dressing up as a child. You may have been a particularly fey child. I think that's all I want to say about the fairy at the moment. This final card, it was my intention when I was drawing that at the end of the reading I want to try and see the connection between these two cards and marry them up. If you like, we're going on a journey and the ending will link to the beginning. So from the Goddess Oracle you have Mary and miracles. Mary is of course the mother of Christ in the Christian religion. But I love the fact that in this deck, she is a goddess and she joins the pantheon of goddesses in her own right. Clearly, before Mary being the mother of Jesus, there were many other archetypes of the mother, of gods or goddesses. Let me just reference Isis, for example. The person on the other side who's walking with you may have been a Christian. She may have been a motherly type figure. She may have been Catholic. She may have carried a rosary. If this is not a physical ancestor or line of ancestors who were Christian, this particular Mary Mother archetype comes with the word miracles. Believe in miracles. You also have the angelic realm walking with you, and you've been assigned this fairy guardian since birth. You've always had the angels with you. Always had the angels with you, and all you need to do is reach out and talk. I love that Mary is robed in green, the colour of the heart chakra here, green and gold, not blue. You've got the blue on the fairy, the green is connecting, and you've got the blue and green directly here underneath, joining the colours up, throat chakra, heart chakra, and she's pointing towards her heart rather than her throat. So she's asking you to talk and to communicate. She's saying, it's a cliche, but we're only in the other room. Mary is walking with you. The energy of Mary, the energy of the mother, is walking with you to ask you to believe in miracles, to believe in magic again. From the Queen Mab Oracle, you have beauty as freedom, and I think this is a really important card for you. So I'm going to hold it here and ask you to look quite closely at that card and perhaps what you feel, because this is asking you to take a walk on the wild side, to perhaps embrace your inner sexuality, to not be so tightly bound by restrictions and expectations. You are protected. You've got the Hierophant here, the Pope. This Christian imagery is coming through quite strongly. But you've got Shapeshifter and you've got Raven. You are highly protected. It looks like you've got raven feathers on this card. And you've got the raven sitting below. You are highly protected by spirit, by the spirit world. The raven's all about protection. You've got, on either side here, actually, you've got the Triskelion, you've got the trifecta. There's something about the three which relates to paganism, as above, so below, the earth, the air, the sky. Here, you've actually got the four united, and it's adding will. You are highly protected by ancestors all around of different categories, different degrees, but you're highly protected, and you always have spirit walking with you. You have the angels, you have the fairies. Why are they with you? Because they are asking you not to be so rigid. You don't always have to be the good girl or the good boy, or go to church, or follow a particularly hierarchical or dogmatic or religious structure. They're asking you to notice the signs that they're leaving for you. They're telling you that it's okay to become unbound a little bit, and that there is actually a beauteous freedom in tapping into your wild side. And your wild side could be slightly more pagan, slightly freer, understanding that it's okay to worship in your own way. If this is an ancestor and you're recognizing a particular ancestor given the Christian connections which are coming up, then perhaps they are telling you that they were too narrowly focused on a path, too tightly bound, and on the other side they acknowledge, they recognise that it is okay, that others may follow other paths which may be slightly more liberal, more relaxed, less bound by rules. and they are asking you to allow that side of you to come out. We move on to the shapeshifter as an archetype. And again, this is the magician, this is the fairy. In fairy stories, these are the magical characters that can change form, that can change shape, that can perform magic. Who's walking with you and why? The why, again, it's continuous all the way through here. It's okay to move through things, between things. If I use myself as an example, I cannot put a label on myself and who I am and what I do and what I believe in and what path I follow. I'm incredibly drawn to the Fae. There are bits of the Christian story that I really like. I'm definitely drawn to paganism, druidism. Being outside, nature is my temple. And I'm drawn to Buddhism. There are bits of Hinduism I like. It's okay to shift, to move. You don't have to be rigid or fixed in your beliefs or in your practices. Somebody's asking you to unbutton and express your true, real, authentic self a little bit more. You don't need to hide. You are protected. Nothing bad is going to happen to you if you show up in the world as you really are. You don't have to hide in the closet anymore. It's okay to come out and be seen for your authentic self, and to move and shift and change and not to be rigid. You've got notice the signs I've already referenced, paganism and the Celts. I talked about Mother Mary, I've talked about Catholicism. There could be an Irish, Scottish, Welsh, Gaelic link here. You've got the Triskelion here, the 3 spirals that are linked. Everything here is interconnected. You have the sky, you have the earth, you have the sea, you have the earth, air, earth, water. You have the maiden, the mother, the crone. You have life, death, the afterlife, the Trinity, and it's underneath Mary, the Trinity. You could link that to the Holy Trinity if you wished. And why are they walking with you? Well, they're asking you to notice the signs. Why they're walking with you now at this moment. You're being asked to notice the signs, to investigate, to start understanding symbols which you see recurring and repeating, and nature spirits. This person, if they are an ancestor, may have enjoyed the outdoors. They may have been a free thinker, somebody who, like I said, nature is my church, nature is my temple. There's something about 3 and the Trinity, which I've mentioned here, with will, wisdom and the mind. And what's in the middle might be important of these 2 cards. Get out in nature, look at shapes in the clouds, breathe the fresh air. You may notice signs from them, a feather, a leaf, like I said, shapes in the sky, patterns on the ground. You may feel particularly close to them, or you may sense their presence when you're out in nature. The raven is all about protection, spiritual protection. Black is a protective colour. I put lapis lazuli on for you because it matched here, and the blue. Black obsidian's on the next pile. You might want to wear black in order to protect yourself, but you've got protection. You've got the fairies who are walking with you, who protected you since birth. You've got the angelic presence. You've got Christianity as a faith. This bird, this raven, is out in nature. Birds might carry a message or bird call, or if it's an ancestor, a real person that you knew, they may have had a way with communicating with birds. They may have had an affinity with ravens. They may have had ravens who appeared in their garden. But raven is showing up here as your third protection. So whoever is walking with you, they're walking with you now to tell you that you are protected on all fronts, and that exploring, unbuttoning is safe. You're getting it's safe from different cultures, but a repeated messaging. This is going to be your final card, so I'll move down. You've only got 2 tarot cards. I think the other 2 piles have more, but I don't think you need any more. The Hierophant, I'm connecting here, it's the Pope. Although this is a Viking deck, it's still incredibly spiritual. You've got the halo around the head. I'll come back to the Hierophant in a minute, because I think that this card is important. There's 2 of Pentacles. She's juggling, and I've talked about the shapeshifter and you walking between worlds, and it being safe and okay for you to explore those gifts, and for you to show up and to be seen, and to come out of the closet. I'm using that as a metaphor, not as a link to your sexuality, but it's safe, you don't need to hide. I talked about I hid in the witchy closet for years. This very well might be my pile when I watch it back. This temple dancer who's dancing on a Shiva lingam, and it looks very phallic. She's dancing as part of a sacred worship. It links, I think, to beauty as freedom. It's okay to unbutton yourself, to shine, to show off your skills. These 2 dragon boats are coming to watch you and watch what you do. But it's the 2 worlds again, but you have this infinity sign that she's making between the 2 pentacles. You're not going to lose your balance. You're not going to fall by exploring, by loosening up, by being less rigid. This is a sort of a Burmese, a Thai, a Malaysian, a Cambodian type culture. So that might give you a clue if it's an ancestor. There are dragonflies as well as dragon boats. So dragon energy might be quite powerful. The Hierophant, I kind of feel I've already covered. Like I say, it could be somebody heavily involved in Christianity and worship in the church, and went to church and practiced regularly. But this is about you showing up and having some spiritual gravitas, and people trusting your judgment and trusting you as a leader and an authority, a spiritual authority figure. But they're saying it is okay to have fun. You know, you do not have to be uptight or rigid. You can still have that gravitas. You can still dispense fair spiritual judgment. You can still be a wise leader and dance to your own tune and make your own magic and revel in your own beauteous wild freedom as you do so. Who's walking with you and why? Someone, someone's, spirits, ancestors, you've got angels, you've got the Fae, who want you to have it all. I want you to be able to join all of these practices up and join all of you up and embrace and integrate everything. Your will, your wisdom, your mind. It looks intellectual, the words. But you've got the fire, you've got the earth, you've got the air, you've got the swords, you've got the ethers. If you look at the colours, you have the whole spectrum, and they are telling you that it is okay. It is okay to live a full spectrum life, and to show up and to be seen for all that you are. That's the message. Pile number one. A blessing from the Fae, from the angelic realm, from, this is a Viking deck, from the church, from the Celts and the pagans, from the natural and spirit world, from the temple dancer, a lot to do with temples and churches. Link all facets of you together, embrace all the bits, all of you, and let all of you be seen. Beauty is freedom. You are liberated. Who's walking with you is asking you to become liberated and to feel okay with shifting between worlds and beliefs. Pile number one, that has been your reading. Hello, pile number two. If you chose this card, then this is your reading. So, pile number one, actually, their card was heavily about protection, and you have the protection stone with the black obsidian. The card that you chose is a blessing of an Anam Cara, a soulmate, a spiritual friend. Doesn't have to be a love relationship, it just has to be somebody that understands you on a soul level. That's what this blessing from the Fae is. It's a blessing of being understood. It's a blessing of understanding, of feeling you have that one special person in your life. Actually, I'm starting to get a feeling that I didn't get with the other pile, that this might be a person that you've lost. You perhaps may feel you've lost your twin flame, your soulmate, your other half, your special person who saw you. Because these two women are of a similar age and they look alike, and I'm not saying that you have to have been a similar age to who's walking with you, but I'm seeing same. Who's walking with you now may have been somebody that you've lost, that you feel was this spiritual other half, and they are wrapped in the same wings, the same angel, fairy wings, raven wings. They're encircled. If that doesn't resonate, then the Fae want to send you this spiritual friend. And I'm going to say friend because everybody automatically jumps to their soulmate needing to be a love partner. And I don't think that an Anam Cara has to be that. Beautiful. Yeah, heart is bleeding. This may really be about loss, and at least one of the people, spirits, guardians, guides who's walking with you may really be an ancestor, somebody that you've lost. This I'm not getting motherly, I'm getting aunt, big sister, best friend type vibes with this card. Yeah, prayer. Yeah. I think they're walking with you to console you at this moment. Pile number 2. That's beautiful. Yeah, you're going there. Oh gosh. You have got 4 tarot cards. I think the previous pile only had 2. I knew there were different numbers. I think I said in the introduction. I need to move these over a little bit. I've just glanced in the camera. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's better. So this last card I intend to tie up with the first card. Okay, you've got Bridget and Creative Spark. You've got a Wands card and a Wands card here, and their fire and their creativity as well. You've got Pentacles and you've got Earth. You've got a bird card here. Pile number 1 had a bird. It was the raven actually, and I mentioned black raven's feathers, but I guess they could equally be black bird feathers. Death. I think I want death there. Okay, pile number 2. The goddess that's shown up for you is Bridget. So Bridget is both a goddess and a saint. Keep making links to number 1, but they had Mary, as in Mother Mary, who in this deck is recognised as a goddess and an archetypal figure of the mother, as in Isis as well. She's not the first mother to give birth to a precious god or a precious child. So there might be a connection. You've got Bridget. She is an Irish saint. Creative Spark. And I'm just drawn to the beauty of her eyes. You have a Triskelion on her forehead. I can't see it in the camera. I hope you can. You also have this sort of pattern going across here. Very, very connected to nature. The white wings remind me of the pretty angelic, or even a swan. She's wearing a crown of rowan berries, and I love rowan, and it's protection. Rowan hedges, particularly, I think in Scotland, the rowan is important and it offered spiritual protection. And here on your Blackbird card, you also have a rowan. So rowan is a name. If it's an ancestor, it might have been somebody who liked gardening, somebody who had links with the countryside, possibly somebody who had links with Scotland or Ireland, since I've mentioned that she is an Irish saint. And the rowan is particularly important in Scotland. I've also mentioned it could be an aunt, big sister, best friend type human ancestor. If it's not, Bridget is here because you have the cross of Bridget and she's connected to a fire, and she's connected to, I'm not 100% sure where in the Celtic wheel. Imbolc maybe. St. Bridget's Day, St. Bridget's, I can't remember, but it's the creative spark. Whoever's here wants you to kind of come back to life, spark, ignite the passion, ignite the will to live. I talked about that you might be grieving at the moment, and you've got heart is bleeding. This is sort of tears of a clown. It's putting the makeup on, it's going through every day. But who's walking with you? Someone, spirit, guardians, guides, who know that you are grieving and want to comfort you. When I look at the love on Bridget's face, they want to comfort you. They actually want you to come to terms and come to peace with death. You've got Santa Muerte here representing death. Dia de los Muertes, which of course is the 1st of November. This reading is coming out right now in time for Samhain. So it's a celebration of life rather than death. And you've got all of the beauty of the candles and the flowers here. And death herself is showing up as this sort of maiden in her confirmation gown or her bridal gown. She's wearing jewellery. You've got another bird here. You've got an owl, and owls are about spiritual wisdom and insight, but they are also harbingers of death. They often come as a warning. I think far more than pile 1, I am sensing that this is if you've been drawn to pile number 2, you might have a very good sense of somebody who you are still mourning for and still grieving for and living a life in limbo, feeling like your heart is bleeding. They are walking with you now because they want you to see that death is beautiful and it is not the end, and to celebrate their life and honour all that they were to you. Death showing up as Santa Muerte again. I'm getting female. I know, so there could be a South American or a Mexican connection. Santa Muerte, the church will not recognise her as a saint, and so she has become a saint, a santa, to those people who also feel marginalised and unrecognised. Prostitutes, drug addicts, the homeless, who turn to Santa Muerte, this sort of maiden bride, someone who's died early, who wanted to live, who was full of life. And so this person may have been a bit of a rebel, or they're encouraging you to become rebellious. You've got Earth Magic. Such a beautiful card. So you are being asked, and she's green and she's all underneath Bridget. And I've referenced the rowan berries here, and this fabulous creature has been foraging. I think she's holding up a bundle of lavender that she's picked. So you may have trouble sleeping. She's got a belt and a bag on her belt, and she's collected all of these different things from nature. You have these little fae spirit around the character. You've got the face of the tree, nature, rituals and charms. So the fae are definitely with you. They're giving you the soulmate energy. They're surrounding you with the love of this spiritual best friend, this Anamkara, this sense of feeling understood. They don't want you to be mourning and grieving. And now you've got the fae showing up and an ancestor who's very connected to the earth and the old ways. Somebody who may well have foraged, or may well have always had a jug of herbs or a herb garden, or made little lavender sachets. Somebody who perhaps conducted little rituals, you know, even down to being superstitious that you don't put new shoes on the table, or, you know, you say white rabbits on the 1st of the month. Charms I like. Protection charms. Maybe wear a charm if you are grieving somebody that reminds you of that person that's gone. You have blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Oh God, that's a line from a song by Van Morrison. So Bridget's Irish, Van Morrison's Irish. I think he spent a lot of time in the States, and I mentioned South America here. And blackbird singing in the dead of night. This is Starry Night. You've got this little crescent moon here. I've talked about the rowan for protection. It is safe. There's been enough darkness. Look at all the stars. It's safe to come out of this cave. It's safe to come out of the nest and to sing your song again. You have the prayer. I had it up here next to Heart is Bleeding. That's where it came out. It was above death. Speak to this person that you may be grieving. Speak to the fairies. Speak to the saints. Speak to them in prayer. Prayer doesn't have to just be to God. You can pray to ancestors. You can talk. You can ask. And the image on the card isn't two hands held together in worship. It's reaching out, but it's quite relaxed. And it's letting go. And you have these spirals here. I'm bringing the colour, shifting the colour actually from tears. Grief is cyclical. And you need to come out of the mourning period and embrace these warmer colours. And at the minute I said warmer, I'm putting my hand on the Two of Wands in Egypt. Only one card from this deck. It's the Two of Wands. This is the I'm on my way card. You have sent your camels out, off into the desert. It's time to explore. It's time to become excited about life again. You've got creative spark with Bridget. The Two of Wands, it is time. There's a big world out there and it is time to go on an adventure. It's time. It's time to start living again and embrace colour and heat and warmth. And to make plans. And actually we have a young pharaoh here who doesn't actually have to do the adventuring himself. He gives commands and he sends his camels out in the full knowledge and expectation that they will come back bearing whatever treasures, goods, trade that he's requested. You have two queens. This ancestor is asking you to stand in your power. You've got the Queen of Pentacles who connects with earth magic. And the earthiness I'm sensing with Bridget, but you also have the Queen of Wands, fire energy, who's connecting here with this very fiery setting sun in Egypt and the sand, and there's lots of fire there. But it also connects with the creative spark of Bridget. You can be both of these people. You can be grounded and calm and stable. You can be fiery and passionate and take risks. You can be the green and the red. The red is the root chakra, the green is the heart chakra. Pentacles is very earthy and grounded, so it is safe to be passionate and creative and fiery, all this orange and red energy. And the sands of time, and I want to connect these. Who's walking, not working, he's finished working. The sun is going down. It's time to roll your sleeves down. Sun might be coming up. You might have pulled an all-nighter. But this is air energy, okay? It is time to come out of your head. Okay? The sun timer, time's up. It's run out. Enough time is spent hard working, grieving, being in your head. It is time to turn and to face the day. It is time to live a little, not a little, it's time to come back to life, to ignite that creative spark, to honour whoever's passed. If it's not somebody that's passed, it could be the loss of a relationship, but I'm sensing that this sadness, you are feeling sad and bereft. You've lost your best friend, you've lost your soulmate, that might be to the other side. The Fae are telling you a blessing of being understood and being seen, and having that best friend is coming back to you. It's time to leave the grieving in the morning behind. That you can always talk to them. It's time to sing your song again. Put the hard work down. Ignite the creative spark. Fall in love with life and magic and rituals again. Start to plan adventures. And to sit on the throne like the queen you are. Pile number 2. That has been your Who's Walking With You Now and Why reading. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose this magical, and I hope you can see all the flickers and glints, magical little fairy stone, and this card, then this is your reading. This is a blessing of rapture, and this fairy is just about to trust and let go and to take flight, trusting that the universe will catch her. So a blessing of rapture, it is, I think, before I draw any cards, my instinctive, intuitive feeling about this reading, pile number 3, is you are about to elevate, to ascend, to move up a level, to move up a gear, and to truly experience joy and freedom. Let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. So the fairies are walking with you now to tell you that a joyous time is approaching. Yeah. Music. Ooh, alliance and mentor. Okay, you're definitely elevating. You're definitely going up. Here is the Greek. She's the wife of Zeus, so she's the head goddess. Embrace, you're in a gypsy. Yep. Interesting. This is the 3rd bird. All piles have had a bird from the Celtic Animals deck. Yeah, You can see those. I've laid your cards out differently than I've laid the others out. I don't know why. Gosh, there's a lot of ignition, igniting energy on here. I've told you that the fairies, this card is about elevating, it's moving up, it's letting go, it's taking the jump off the ledge, it's feel the fear and do it anyway. And oh my God, the release and the joy. It's feeling free, it's transforming, it's unfurling your wings, it's discovering your wings actually, and flying. We've got these skirts whirling with the dancing. Her skirts are whirling, she's dancing. He looks like he's inviting you to come and dance. She's playing. You're a mentor, you've got this owl here. There was an owl on pile number 2. And they also had Egyptian cards here. They had 2. Okay, let's go. So the goddess that's showing up for you, pile number 3, I've already mentioned, is Hera. The goddess, wife of Zeus, who was the king of the gods. So she's a queen. I'm not feeling that this is necessarily a real person. If it is, it's somebody, it's a powerful woman. It's a powerful woman. Alliance, this is friends. And underneath you are dancing with others. Oh, you've got freedom. And I'm talking about freedom and liberation here when you take flight. This is about, it's not just making friends, it's about power, and it's about forming relationships with people on a similar level, or actually they may be on a higher level than you now, because you are just about to go up and take flight. Who's walking with you and why? Why they're walking with you is now. And why Hera's come in, I think, is to lend you strong female power and perhaps to help you with strategy and making healthy, positive, powerful alliances. Yeah, you've got the Prince and the Princess of Wands. Definitely alliances, because you possibly even a spiritual pairing, because you have a love relationship here. If this is a real person, they may have a connection to Greece, Rome, that kind of ancient medieval power world. Mediterranean links. I know the gypsies originally came from Egypt, but I'm seeing Gitano here. I'm seeing Spain, possibly Romania, but more Spain, more somebody with a link to hot Mediterranean countries in the real world. I think they're feminine. I think they're female. And I don't think they would have been old when they passed, but they would have been powerful, possibly a matriarch. Okay, so they're telling you, who's walking with you, they are telling you that you are about to elevate, you're about to take off, take flight, and step into your power. And to do so wisely. There's something about going it alone and dancing to your own tune. And there's also something about uniting and allying with others, forming allies. Might be finding your soul tribe. You've got Star Spangled Sheen. Such a beautiful card. She's sitting here in the darkness, eyes closed, playing her own pipe. She's not dancing to her own tune, but she is making her own music. There's nobody else, there's no orchestra, there's no audience. She is hearing her own tune in her head, and she's following her own calling. Later, we have the dancing, embracing your inner gypsy, freedom, fun and music. So rapture, joy, fun, music. But you are stepping up into power, and it's your own power. It's dancing, not necessarily to your tune, but it's to your music, with your tribe of people who dance the way you dance and enjoy the same things that you do, and celebrate life the way that you do. These are the people that you need to ally with. The people who understand perhaps your dualistic nature, your need for privacy and to go internal, and then your need to be external. And as I've said, your need to be internal and go external. My eyes have moved to your next card and the hawk. The hawk has the ability to fly high and to see the big picture, a whole wide broad landscape. But they also have the ability to zone in on minute detail. I'm seeing that, the external, the internal. So the hawk is asking you, again, it's about rising. It's about flying high. It's about flying high. You're not going to get much higher than the goddess. But the queen of the goddesses, the head goddess. You've also got mentor as your archetype. You've got this sort of spiritual wisdom here, and this owl is protecting this fire, this passion, this joy that is being ignited. You're being asked to up level. I said that, it's ascension, it's elevation. The mentor. Okay, you're a prince, you're a princess of Egypt. You are a goddess. Whoever's walking with you in spirit is walking with you now to help you with this elevation, to help you with this ascension as you rise to become a mentor to others. You've got Queen here. So much royalty on here. The Prince of Wands. He's conducting. He kind of reminds me of Snoop Dogg. I don't know why he's dancing and he's prancing and he's come and have a look at my magic. He's hypnotic, really. He's drawing you in. And you've got this magical serpent here, and it's almost the transformation up his wand, his holy rod. This is about Kundalini rising again. The magic is coming from this snake. This is elevation. The Prince of Wands is the Knight of Wands. The princess comes first, but he came first. I don't know, to me, She looks more powerful. But you are being asked to ascend, to step into your power, to step into your magic. This Kundalini rising, you might be having a spiritual awakening, and that might be why you've got these powerful figures around you who are trying to say, stay grounded, stay fiery, stay passionate throughout it all. And there's almost soothing element here. And she's dancing on the toes of the Sphinx, dancing to her own tune. You've got the Ankh here. I'm trying to see if there are any other symbols. I've talked about the snake. You've got the snake here, the Caduceus. I want to talk about that jewel snake in a minute, actually, because this might be the prince and the princess. This might be the two of them uniting. Two fire signs. Yeah, there's a lot of power here. A lot. Oh, she's got the snake as well. Here it is. Its head looks like a wooden spoon. I noticed it wrapping round here. This is Kundalini rising. This is stepping into your power and nobility, royalty for sure. Night. There's quite a bit about night and darkness here. She's wearing quite a dark dress. This is happening sort of in a interior room under artificial light. And then you have these three cards of daylight and outdoors. It's about maintaining your balance whilst you're learning to fly. Doesn't look like you're learning there, but you've got this owl's protection over you whilst you're creating the burning fires. This is called Spangled Starlight Sheen. Stars, butterflies, bonfires, night, igniting passion. Talked about the Kundalini rising and the snakes here. The Two of Cups is union. You've got a union here between two lovers, a man and a woman. The blue and the red. She's got dark hair, he's got very blonde hair. It's the uniting of the two sides. You've got these two candelabras burning here, but what I'm noticing most of all is this Caduceus on the wall, and it is the sign of the healer. It's the medicine sign. He has a snake, she has a snake. Here possibly they've come into union. Now this might very well be an alliance with somebody who's going to become a romantic partner. It doesn't have to. This is something to do with Kundalini rising, and the going up and the coming down of the spine, and it's the flow of energy. This pile number 3, I'm getting very, very strongly at the end, and I'm just about to finish now, but very, very strongly. You, who's walking with you, you've got power figures supporting you as you ascend, and I think it is a spiritual ascension, and I think it will be incredibly healing as you integrate the masculine and the feminine, the day and the night. That's what I think is the reason that you have these power figures around you. And the final card I want to put up here and link the two. Whoever is walking with you in the spirit world, and this is perhaps the only person that I see as a real ancestor, is so delighted to see your ascension. Yes, they are excited watching from the other side. But it's a queen. It's a queen. It is a power figure. If it was a real person, this is a matriarch, although I'm not seeing them as old. This is somebody who is cheering you on, who is delighted to see your ascension and you're levelling up to her level, to the prince, to the princess, to the queen. The Queen of Keys is the Queen of Pentacles, so maybe somebody very earthy and grounded. And actually, she might be there as a steadying figure, this ancestor, as you go through this spiritual awakening. Pile number 3, that has been your Who's Walking With You Now and Why ancestor reading. Brightest of blessings.